They took them out. It just has them as an appendix. And that's what they agreed to.
This one we got the, this I got, must have both.
You see that? Yeah.
Steve,
That's got a lot.
Yeah.
if you hear the music stop, just
What?
listen.
Okay.
Leave that. That's got a
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah,
That's why we were all screwed up. That's why I say there was a typo.
I got you. I got some notes in my truck. I forgot when we talked to that Ed. But I don't think they're really relevant.
Yeah.
Pretty much did everything we talked about.
Right.
Yeah.
I can cover it. I kind of got what we talked about today about them.
Yeah.
I'll just.
Okay. Everybody ready? Do the pledge. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice.
Thanks for coming, everybody. Nice to have warm weather for a change. I know. Nice to see things greening up too. Lee, can you do the roll call? Please.
Tom Keeler,
Here.
Steve Harling,
Here.
John DeBatey,
Here.
Kurt Dudley,
Here.
Doug Mathis is excused, Gary Palmer,
Here.
Jean Peglow,
Here.
Tom Decker is excused, Nick Elliott.
Here.
Okay. First thing we need is approval of the minutes. These are from February. We didn't have a January meeting and we did not have a March meeting, so last one was February 9th. Everybody should have the minutes tonight.
I will approve the minutes as written, February 9th.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
I move we have Nick Elliott moved up to a voting member today.
Okay. Need a second for that too.
Second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Welcome aboard.
So the old business, first, the only item on the agenda is the comprehensive plan. Steve and I had a conversation with Ed Flynn from Labella back in March, and he updated us on where it stood, where the comprehensive plan stands now. And he offered to take what we have, if everybody's good with it, and give it back to him, and he would make a few, really just edit a few things.
Cosmetic changes.
Yeah, cosmetic, typographic type things, and then get it back to us. The last time we talked about the comprehensive plan, we gave the draft to the town board, and no, I'm sorry, we gave the draft back to the committee. And the committee posted it on the website as a draft, which I didn't realize they did. I don't think anybody realized they did, but that's what they did. So we're back to sending this now, hopefully, to the town board. That'd be the next step, because it's a zoning change, and it has to be handled by the town board. So the town board would give it to, would have a vote, and they would make a recommendation to send it to the county. And it would go to the county, and they would make their recommendation. Then they come back to the town board, and they would have a public hearing, and then the town board would vote on it.
Correct.
Yeah. But vote on implementing it. So Steve did some digging on the things that we had that were the changes. So we figured we'd just go over that and make sure everybody was in agreement with the changes, and if we are, we'll send it off to make our final recommendation to the town board.
So I talked to Wes on this because there was some confusion on which ones we had. So the date on the one that's listed on the website has August 15th, 2024. That's really 25. That's the most current one. So the one we had circulating also had May 5th on there. Was another one. It was a prior one. So as you recall, in October when we thought this, or September, Wes had already made the recommendations back to the board, and we thought this was full circle. So the original comprehensive plan is not on our website. It just says draft of what's currently on there, unless it's somewhere else, because it's front and center.
There's comprehensive plan draft, and then there's comprehensive plan.
In another box?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And the one that says comprehensive plan is 2017.
Is a 2017 version of it. Yep. So the recommendations we made that are, if you look at the previous one, I'll go through in general so we don't have to go one by, was we removed the survey to the appendix, which everyone was fine with. So they're either all going to have the commentary of survey results over every, or none of them. But seeing how not every question was asked, it was kind of pick and choose. We're going to attach the survey as an appendix. So all the results, they can see them, they can read them, but it won't be part of, which we all agreed upon. Yep. They were also going to update the maps, which they have. I went through that because we didn't want them we wanted them to go get their own data, because Tom provided us with some data, but it was just what he knew because they were so far off when it comes to mapping, geography, the mining. So we wanted them to verify and update that, use their own resources as far as what that was done. Other things that they needed to fix, which they have, but in the fall, the last, like section 1.1, page 1.1, the last sentence should have been added at end, which states the process was directed by the town board. So we weren't the lead on this. We were told by the town board to update the comprehensive plan, which has been done. So pages 1, 2, he highlighted things that need to be changed and dates filled in, which Barbara did that. So that's on pages 1 through 2. Page 2.1, in addition, a person who buys property in the ag district should verify prior to purchase if the property is in the ag district. So they added that context of making sure that they understood what they were purchasing. The rest under the section B is what he has 2.1B. They were just verifying that the maps were correct, which he told Tom and I he would go and get the updated versions. He wasn't happy with the feedback. I said happy, but he said there was more updated information he could put in there as far as the maps. Because some of the ones, if you remember the original ones, we were questioning the property values, income values, census values. So he was going to clear that all up. But pretty much the one on the website, was accurate as of October when we approved it. And if that makes sense. And if there's anything, I have a list of all the changes that he did, if anyone wants, but I went through them with Wes today just to save the time of doing it. And then I went through it, and I believe we have everything. And the maps from Labella should be like one was outdated. It was updated in 2023 by FEMA. And then they had a revision in 2025. It was provided, and it's in the plan that you're looking at. But he also gave me copies of what they sent over to her. So that's kind of it in a summary. There was only 3 pages. There was a lot more back and forth, but the main majority of them which was 12 pages. He went section by section saying, remove this survey result. So as you can see, there's no survey results in that one online.
The date on this should be 25.
25. Yep. And that's why I was confused, because we did many changes and they wouldn't update the date.
Yeah.
And Wes had that in his notes of one of his emails that he shared with me, that he requested that, but there was some I don't know if it was rationale, but it never got implemented. So we weren't always looking on the same page.
Yep.
On that. But Ed did say he'd go through it, and like you said, there's not going to be any modifications to what we agreed, but just make sure that the spelling and the punctuation, there's little things that are still not right, spacing and stuff like that. But he said he'd take care of all that. We did verify there was no more charges to the town. So all this is, they hit there's, unless we decided we wanted to scrap it, they're going to make these changes and make sure we have the updated, most current thing as of now. And like you said, the rest was cosmetic and visual. You wanted to make it look much more,
Should we get a final version and let everybody look at it one last time before we make the recommendation to the town, or do you think we should just? What's everybody think?
I think if it comes back and you take a look at it, I would be fine with that.
Someone's gotta look at it anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
they're gonna review it too, so.
well, we'll send this one to Ed.
Yep.
And then when we can vote on it tonight as far as sending it to the town, but when I get it back, we'll just share it. Because it's going to be the same one they're going to do. Like you said, they're going to review it. But the content's not going to change, I guess, is the important thing. It's basically what you're looking at. It's just going to be more refined. And the maps will be the most recent ones. If there was any changes between August of 25 and today, he will implement it because they're going to adopt this year. So I want to make sure we have the right, but the overall language won't change.
Yep.
So
So
unless you guys want to see it again, have another.
Not a big hurry. I'm not excited about reading it again, but
You need a motion to send it out for those changes and then send it to the town once it comes back, final verdict? Yeah, I'll make that motion.
all in favor?
I
Opposed? So the other thing we were gonna recommend to the town, that because we're in the process of getting it to them in the final version. I don't know if everybody feels that it should still be on the website or if it shouldn't be on the website.
As a draft?
I think it would have to stay as a draft until we confirm that we've accepted it.
well, as of right now, we're still going by the old comprehensive plan.
Yeah.
Yeah, the old one shouldn't be replaced until.
So the
So
new one's
we're-
implemented.
We're saying we accepted the changes and we're sending it to the town board. there's no real need for it to be on the website, is there?
I wouldn't think so
I
either.
mean, unless the town board wants feedback through that.
Well, the residents are gonna have their opportunity for feedback at the public hearing.
Right.
So should it be on there so that they can see it?
That's probably.
That should be on there. Update what's on there now with
Yeah, when it comes
Smooth
in.
revised one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, well, when we send it to the town board, then we should make the recommendation to them that they update these changes and still keep it draft, right,
Yes,
on the website.
on the website.
on the website.
yeah.
Ain't claim we're hiding it on them.
Correct. Yeah, we want it to be the same version that they see at the public hearing.
Yeah.
Even though it's gonna be cosmetic, if it looks different, they'll say it, right? So just full disclosure, so,
All the versions ought to get
right,
lost.
and it'll get, you're right.
Get so many layers of revisions.
Well, that's just it. That was what caused
The confusion.
the
yeah.
confusion.
You get all that? Lee? Okay. So I think we're good with that unless we have any other questions or comments on the comp plan. Okay, one thing that I forgot to tell Lee to put on the old business was that, we got a call from, Watson Enterprises on Route 31A back in March. And he has, actually Jared called me about it. He has a, has a permit to construct another building. He came back to the board in 2025 and asked about changing the size and then called us in March and asked to change it back. So he does have a building permit and he's already been through the process with the planning board, so we didn't feel it was necessary for him to come back to the planning board again. But I'll just tell you what it was that he was changing. He has two buildings that are 250-foot long and two buildings that are 230-foot long. So 4 total existing, and his plan called for a 5th one to be the same size, the 230 foot. So, that's what he's going to build, and he's already started on it. So,
These are the storage buildings.
yep, stored. And Jared was good with it too because it was previously approved. So.
Here it is, the
Code enforcement.
code enforcement.
That's all we had for old and new business, unless there's something else that I don't know about. There was a county planning board meeting in February. They didn't have one in December. They didn't have one in January. They had one in February. They did not have one in March. And as far as I know, the April one is on board, but there's on part of VDOT to take place. But the February meeting, I can tell you about that one. The nominations were pretty much the same as they have been with Brian and Napoli and Dan Strong as the chairman and vice chair. So they were elected for another term. First referral was Village of Albion site plan review for the Dollar General located across the street from the high school in Albion. And there was a lot of discussion about that. Some of the topics were related to sidewalk use for kids and a sidewalk crossing for kids coming from school to go to Dollar General, and then also the site plan that they submitted doesn't allow a tractor trailer to make a delivery and turn around in their parking lot. They have to back in from Route 31. So they went back and forth on that quite a bit, and some comments from the public and so forth, but it ended up getting approved by the county. The next referral was Town of Clarendon, and it was on 5122 South Holly Road in Holly. I'm not sure who owns the property. Maybe you guys do. But it was for a broadband tower on top of a grain silo for broadband service. That was approved. The next one was a special use permit and site plan review for a broadband tower at 2490 Town Line Road in Ridgeway. That was approved.
These are cell towers you're talking about.
Yeah. I think they're broadband towers that are those 4-foot tall. They're mounted them on.
On the water tower.
Yeah, like the ones on our water tower.
Yeah. Oh, those are for Wi-Fi then.
Yeah. Yep.
Not cell then.
Nope. Wi-Fi. They're all for
Local
Wi-Fi.
Wi-Fi service. Broadband.
Yep. Yeah, they didn't say anything about cell service. Both of those were for broadband.
Okay.
The next one was Town of Yates special use permit for H2A housing or H2A, build housing for H2A, seasonal H2A workers at 2162 Lindenville Road. And that was approved. They had a setback issue that they were debating for a little bit, but it did get approved. And the next one was Town of Yates at 11916 Route 18 for a home business for repairing hydraulic cylinders, heavy equipment, and possibly parts sales. That was approved. Did you go to the meeting?
No.
I didn't. I did it online, so I didn't write down the names of these people, but I'll have the formal minutes for the next meeting. Then in the town of Carlton, there was a special use permit to grow cannabis in a storage building on existing property on Kendrick Road, 13353 Kendrick Road. And they talked about that, whether it was necessary to come to the planning board because it was an ag district issue. But they did end up reviewing it and approving it. Then the last one was a Town of Carlton, another broadband tower located at 961 Wilson Road, down by the water treatment plant down there, for broadband tower, and that was approved. Did I send you the meeting dates for the county?
I think so.
They handed out they voted on the meeting dates too for the county planning board meeting for the year. That was it.
Tom, do you remember what their recommendations were for that? Dollar General,
That was approved.
yeah, what was the recommendations on? They usually have.
Oh, you mean with the conditions?
Yeah,
They talked about the sidewalk and they talked about the tractor trailer access, but I can't remember if they came up with solutions, you know? But I can email Corey and ask him to send me the minutes. He would do that. So I can do that.
I'm looking at their formal minutes, but they didn't have anything on there,
They didn't?
any conditions.
they usually have their.
No, I know.
Oh,
I'm looking at the one online, the printed ones.
That's for the one in February.
Site plan review, yep, February 2026. It said members of the board discussed the village possibly looking into expanding school speed zones in the vicinity of the project in the future, as well as exploring other traffic calming mechanisms. That's the only comment they have on their.
Yeah,
Look at like those formal drafts.
yeah. Yeah, I didn't realize these were on here already. Usually it takes a while. Yeah, they didn't have any conditions on there, right?
No.
Make sure I'm right on these. It's like, so that's all we had tonight. Unless other topics somebody wants to talk about.
Anything new with the town board?
We had a presentation, Wednesday night at the town board on this internet. They wanna go on the water tower over here where they had the last one. They've been around, it was Kevin Walsh property over in Clarendon, and Nesbitt's down to the lake, Wilson Road.
Yep.
And then they're gonna put up a tower on what was Alvin Smith's, that is Panics now over here, on Line Road.
Yeah.
We'll put one there. David, I think in total, they got a dozen places for these internet.
What's the coverage of that? I would do. Well, it's not a big circle, is it?
No, it isn't, that's why they need so many of them. They're working on it, hopefully by fall, they've got it going. We're working on a deal with them, they're supposed to. I don't think it's gonna be a lot of money for the town, maybe a couple $100 a month. The last one had free internet for the park. Part of the deal. So, and I don't know if they offered it to the town hall. I don't know if they did. Do you know, Lee?
I don't think so,
You know,
at least not at the moment anyway.
Are these supposed to be faster services, Kirk? Did they say than what we currently have? Like in this area?
It's cheaper.
Just
yeah,
cheaper?
like, well, the last one was $30
Okay.
No,
a month.
Spectrum is $80.
Yeah.
It's for your internet.
So, hopefully, way cheaper than Spectrum.
Yep.
So they're gonna put these towers up and hope they can have people provide the service to people and
A lot of it is for the folks that don't have
yeah,
internet going down the road.
they're still gonna have to pay for it.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's not gonna be free.
Yeah.
It's just cheaper.
Is it gonna cover all the town, Kirk? I didn't
Well,
see a map.
that's the plan. It's gonna cover, well, the whole county.
Oh, county?
That's
So they're not just getting dead spots, they're getting the whole county, or are
That's
they
what they're
just
trying
picking
to
up
do.
where
Okay.
the other ones are?
Put enough of them.
All right.
I don't know what, this one went defunct, that was here before. The only person I talked to, they had it was Cindy Van Leeshaw, and she was very happy with it. That it went well.
It sounded like it was only gonna be good for 5 years, right?
Yeah, he said something like that.
See, that's what I didn't understand. It was only gonna be good for 5 years and then I don't know what was gonna happen after that.
Might have to change something.
That's because it's partially public funded or something?
There's a big grant involved with this.
For the equipment part of it,
Yeah,
because he couldn't take it down. There was some kind of clause in there to take the equipment down and service it afterwards.
the last outfit went bankrupt. Didn't they say it went bankrupt?
Yeah, they went bankrupt.
So did they get their equipment up there?
No, it's still up there from the last ones. No, they haven't made a deal with the town yet to put up the new equipment.
Oh, I mean the previous ones though,
It's still up there.
but it doesn't work.
No. That's all dead. I don't know.
Hmm.
What really went wrong? I heard bankruptcy or something to that.
Hmm.
Now I take it, do they bond those like they do anything else? Like, you know how we deal with, like the windmill, you gotta
Yeah, there was,
put up something to take the equipment down so you don't end up with all these
Yeah.
dead satellites hanging off your water tower.
Power too.
yeah, because there isn't enough power at that water tower
Oh,
to handle it. They had on the line, all the diagrams you get every
Yeah.
time something to do with the tower, or they got.
Yeah.
A lot to look at.
Now, them cutting trees for the windmills? I don't see any activity going on.
Well, they had to stop at the end of last month.
Yeah, they were done the 15th of March.
They're done.
They gotta come back now and take the stumps out, grade it off.
The roads.
The main thing was get the trees down before the
The backs came back.
first day. Yeah, Vince was,
Wes was telling me there's some logistics problem getting funding and stop and go type thing. Right now, there's nothing going on.
no, I don't know, there might be something going on, just, Trump doesn't like.
No, I mean activity, it's dead right now. There's no vehicles, there's no machinery.
No, there's nothing going on right now. It's too wet anyway.
They left all the,
It's,
what do you call it?
all those pads.
You call that stuff, little boards they put in.
All pads. You have to Google it, John.
Maybe. They got a nice long trail here.
See where the water washed the one section to the south?
did it really move it that much?
Yeah.
How much rain did we get? Anybody?
Near us, near Larry Kennedy, near me, because we got 5 inches.
Did you really?
And I believe it. Because I had 4 sump pumps in my parents' houses up on an hill. And when one would go off, it'd rise. I never seen any in Kirksfield, my horse pasture was flooded. Like for 55 years, I can never remember water like that we had there. There was water in places that didn't seem possible.
I didn't really get that much. I think we only got 3 inches up there.
3 inches.
He had 4, 9. Larry gets right down to the technical, but I asked him 2 different places. But he's right next,
That
5.
field that south
Yeah.
of,
That's pretty good spring.
Oh, it was
Fairfield.
even
used to turn into a lake.
a mark near you.
Even after all that rain, there's hardly any water in it. I believe that's drains that well.
I know a guy that tiled part of it and another guy that ditched a lot of it. Yeah, you used to see whitecaps down there.
Yeah, it was a pond,
Yeah, we got a ditch pretty good.
very leak.
The swans liked it. He had a lot of swans out there this year. You were telling me, look at all the snow geese. So I'm going to go shoot them. I go, good luck with that one. They're big swan. Those are big snow geese.
Yeah, quite a few more on you.
Yeah. On a positive note, the town has some pheasants survive the winter. Gonna put town of Barry on the map. Had a sighting in Murray on Easter. I heard 5 from my five. I heard like 3 from my house, but I think I saw them. Yeah, 2 people sent me pictures of them,
I saw one.
and they're the melanistic ones, so that's why I know they're not just the regular. They're the dark green one, dark bluish green.
Talking about pheasants?
Yeah, I did a hybrid.
We had one on our front lawn, Sunday. Front lawn. This young one.
Yeah. I
Really
released
didn't
them
have
over here.
It really didn't have a ring
Huh?
on its neck, but it was male.
No, those are regular ringnecks, right? It was, or was it green?
It shined in the sun just right. It was like a green to it.
Yeah.
Otherwise it was dark.
Yeah, that was one. Yep, that's the melanistic. I released some on Hicks's.
Well, so that's,
I released them in last year. As a
So it made it through the
at a
winter?
10 week, so at 10 weeks old, I released them.
so that's what,
Yeah.
that made it through the winter?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Hard winter.
Someone never mind, Jeff. You want to shoot one, go ahead.
Oh, you did. Oh, those are fighting words right there.
Come on, it was mingling with the chickens. I couldn't believe it. I said, it's gonna go in the chicken coop. I thought it
It
walked
would've.
right up to the, I thought it was
I had a
going
guy,
right in the
his
coop.
peacocks over on South Holly Road, and he's sending me pictures. We go, what the? And he knows pheasants. He's like, dude, look what's in my trees. And it was a bunch of the melanistics were hanging and roosting with them. That's why they survived. They roost. Some of them will. They roost at night. Well, ringnecks will. Out west, they'll. It's
We
bad.
first, 40 years ago when he first moved here, that
Oh, they were everywhere.
but a few of them in the hedgerow, you
Yep.
know, the crow every spring, they out there meeting. We've been unheard of to see a half a dozen or so, you know, but I haven't seen any since then.
Trying to get the state with all these solar panel things you got to look at, and they say sheep and goats are going to be there. I'm like, you're in no freaking way, but they'll be jumping at them. But to put like wild grass seed and like sorghum in there, and then they can turn the pheasants loose. They can fly in and out because it's a protected area.
They won't
And I'll-
spec the right seed. I spec a lot of that seed for that solar panels.
Yeah.
And I keep telling them they're specking the wrong seed. They're putting in, wildflowers, no grains,
Yeah, you need grains.
and they won't change it.
Hmm.
They want the wildflowers for the bees.
I saw sheep in the one up on 31.
That's the only thing that's gonna keep the branches down.
They can't
But
put goats, so they
otherwise-
tried goats.
The one,
Like you said, the goats were all on top of them.
yeah, that's the problem.
As
Those
soon
get
as
up
they-
on-
Oh,
as
yeah.
soon as they tilted flat,
They're
Oh,
those are
goats
incredible.
don't-
They'll jump right on them. They're impressive.
yeah.
To find a way up.
You want to find if you got a good fence, put a goat in there. He'll find the weakest spot. Doesn't matter. He'll get out.
Yep.
Yeah. But that solar thing, the one in Medina, it's been a few years now.
Yeah.
There's seedlings coming right up between the rows. And if they don't get a handle on that, you know, by bush hogging or something, they've got
And then you just rent the goats and they put them in there for a week
Goat.
and they eat them all out. And then you bring them out and, like you said, put sorghum in. You could put some flowers. Everyone thinks it's going to be great, but you need a mixture of everything. You know, if you really want to.
They won't do it.
Oh, I know. I've talked. I know.
I've been on 3 different boards with that because they've asked about that. And they won't do it. Preferred seed out of Buffalo, when our company bought that, they were real active in that because they've got a big grain division. And they tried like hell to get grains into all of that. State won't do it. They want wetland mixes with flowers. No grains of any kind. And preferred seed total, they said you're not gonna get any rabbits because there's nothing for a rabbit to eat. It's nothing. The habitat won't even sustain a rabbit.
Site One is the company that bought them out, the first seed, right?
Preferred seed, yeah.
Yeah. You guys buy stuff from them, Site One?
I sell stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a nationwide company, I think, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Anybody got anything else?
Motion to adjourn.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.